Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. Little slight delay there. One of my roommates said they found a hornet's nest outside, so I had to go and take a quick peek, you know, make sure that everything's being taken care of, that there's no craziness going on. I had a pretty cool encounter with a hornet's nest last week, right near the bus stop near my house. I think I'm gonna make a video about that though. I don't think it has anything to do with the tournament, just a little bit of fun talk. I hope everybody's doing really good today on this beautiful Saturday morning, Saturday, September 16th, and we enter the round of 16, the Sweet 16. So things are going to get a little bit interesting now. The models are going to get more difficult. The runners have more experience, so they kind of know a little bit more about what to expect. We're going to have, I'm sure we're going to have some drama along the way. We're going to introduce some new features. We're going to see some models, depending on, of course, the wheel of fate. We're going to see some models that have lofts. We're going to see models that have sweeps. We're going to see models that have sheet metal. So we're going to see some new features being introduced into the tournament as we get deeper and deeper. And I just can't believe we're already on the round of 16. At first when I was looking at the schedule, I was like, man, we're going to go from July till November. That's a long time to have a tournament. But now here we are, beginning of September. We've already blasted through the 8 weeks of the round of 16. We eliminated 2 people every one of those Saturdays, and now here we are in the round of 32. Now here we are in the round of 16. So really, really interesting how time is moving. Sometimes it feels like it's going slow. Sometimes it feels like it's going fast. It feels like we just started the tournament. And some of the people we started the tournament with are actually running today. So we're going to see Fabian, who was here in the very first match of the tournament this year, coming back now in the very first round of 16. And we're going to see Joost today, also somebody who started out with us in the very first round of 32 and now here with us in the round of 16. So, or hopefully here with us in the round of 16. More details on that a little bit later. Let's get into it here, though. We have a very, very special lineup today. 4 different countries, 4 different CAD systems, and a very special co-commentator. So I would like to welcome up to the stage none other than Todd Blacksher. Todd, how are you doing today? Welcome to the tournament.
I'm doing good. I'm super excited for this. This is going to be awesome.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a really special set of matchups. We have a great way to kick off the round of 16. It truly is a world championship of speed modeling, and we can see that not only geographically in having 4 different countries, but also as far as just the CAD systems go, 4 different CAD systems being represented today.
It's a little bit of everything.
It really is. It really is. And Todd, you're a certified SolidWorks expert.
Yep.
Been using SolidWorks for quite a while, right?
It's been a long time. It dates me.
More than 2 years, you'd say?
Yeah.
Yep.
Take that times 10.
Okay, well, let's go, man. I'm there with you. And you've had a lot of experience, right? Both using the software and also teaching the software, doing tech support for the software.
Yep, I was with the VAR for a number of years and came back to the real world.
So you've kind of done it all. I mean, with all your experience teaching classes, what would be some kind of common pieces of advice that you would give to like new students? If a new student was looking at a 2D print and needed to turn it into a 3D model, what would be some common advice you would regularly give out?
The biggest one that I think just flies by so many people is paying attention to your cursor, especially with SolidWorks, because there's so much heads-up feedback right at the cursor. Like whether you're going to pick a line or a point or a face, if you can just right click to jump out of that, or if you can right click to advance to the next face on like full round fillets, just paying attention to that cursor makes all the difference in the world speed wise.
Yeah, I think that there's a lot of wisdom in that. I mean, a lot of the stuff that I talk about in my Power Moves video series is really kind of centered around that idea of really learning how to watch what's happening in the cursor feedback, regardless of which CAD system you're using, and use that to kind of map out what I like to call workflows. And it's kind of like if you're learning music, you learn what scales sound good together, and you learn that like a very common transition from one chord to another. Well, in SolidWorks or in 3D CAD, you have these kind of similar workflows where it's like, all right, a lot of times whenever I finish a sketch, I always do this, this, and this. I always jump into the cut extrude command, and I always make it go through all in both directions. Well, if that's the case, you should probably spend some time trying to figure out what's the most efficient workflow to go through not just one of those steps, but all 3 of those steps. What's the most efficient way to end your sketch? What's the most efficient way to jump into the cut extrude command? What's the most efficient way to set the end condition to 2 directions and through all? What's the most efficient way to then terminate that command, to accept that command? And so I think that that's a real important skill that you can learn if you just kind of take your time and look at the cursor feedback, look at what the software is telling you. Hopefully the UI designers have designed it in a way that it will facilitate those kinds of workflows, and just kind of start to learn how the software is going to react when you do these common workflows. You're going to really start speeding through your designs.
And trying it multiple different ways too. It's like, okay, I've worked through it this way. This is my standard. Let's try something different. Let's try something different. And, before you know it, you're saving a click here and there.
Yeah, it's true. It's so true. And it's really, it's really something that I think that we've benefited from in having this tournament, and also in having the leaderboard at TooTallToby.com, where you can see different people trying things different ways. You can see, oh, I didn't, in this CAD system, you can do this. Does SolidWorks have something like that? Does Onshape have something like that? Like, it's especially true with Onshape, because the Onshape has an open source, it's called FeatureScript, an open source community where people who need something to be in Onshape that's not currently there, well, they can very quickly learn how to code in FeatureScript, which is a language that's used to create custom add-ins in Onshape, and then they can just take that idea out of their head and put it into the software, so that now that actually does exist as a feature in the software. And so a lot of times you'll see maybe CATIA, the way that CATIA extrudes, and you can specify the depths of different features, or ANSYS Space Claim, the way you can extrude one sketch and specify different depths for different contours. Well, hey, I'd love to have that in Onshape. All right, I'm going to go into FeatureScript and program that in, and now it's going to be available. And I've definitely seen some of that stuff make its way into the tournament and make its way into the leaderboard. And
nice.
Yeah, it's just really cool when, like, sometimes it's not that elaborate. Sometimes you just see something like, oh, Inventor, in Inventor you can do this. I wonder if you can do that in SolidWorks. And so it just kind of triggers your imagination and gets you to start trying things in different ways. And I think that's also a great way to learn how to be a little bit faster, a little bit more efficient with, whatever the software is you happen to be using.
Yeah, and just being able to tweak it to make it work for you.
Yeah, completely agree. So let's get into it here and talk a little bit about this tournament. Guys, if you're here for the first time, or if you're a returning visitor, be sure to hit up tootalltoby.com/calendar. This is where you can get reminders for all of the upcoming tournaments, as well as some other live streams that we're doing here on the channel. And you can add them to your calendar, add them to your phone. That way you'll get a reminder, you'll never forget, and you'll have the link right there to the live stream. Very useful, tootalltoby.com/calendar. Also, the YouTube playlist is up to date. It has all of the upcoming matches, except for the finals. I haven't added the finals in yet, but I need to do that. So check that out. Be sure to visit us at the new tootalltoby.com. At the new tootalltoby.com, you can get access to a lot of interesting content. Right now, it's basically just set up as like a beta page, a staging area, but we've got links to a lot of the different things that we're doing here on the channel right there on the new Too Tall Toby website, as well as a place where you can download a PDF 10-pack of some practice models. If you want to give some practice models a try, you can get them from the general store. So if you're interested in getting copies of these kind of challenge models in PDF, check out tootalltoby.com, check out the general store. We also got NFTs that you can buy on there using the Too Tall Toby issued TTT cash, and those are just kind of artwork collectible, just some different artwork that I've put together kind of representing the channel. There's a lot growing on this channel. There's a lot going on in the background that's going to help us to further expand everybody's skill sets. So definitely check it out. If you haven't logged in yet, check it out. Can you buy the NFT? Yeah, you can buy the NFT, Sahil. You get 100 TTT cash when you sign up for the site. So you can buy a few different NFTs. They have like some interesting artwork, kind of some history in the world of tootalltoby.com. And of course, one of the biggest attractors on the website is the leaderboard. We've been talking about the leaderboard already. The September leaderboard is up. Speed model these 3 parts as fast as you can. You can see that Chadwick is in the lead, although that screenshot's from, I think, 2 days ago. So I think somebody actually has overtaken Chadwick for the leader spot there on the board. But basically, you record yourself modeling these 3 parts. It's kind of like you're doing what we're doing in the tournament, but you're doing it yourself on your own time. Model these 3 parts, come up with the correct mass, and post that recording. I'll take a look at that recording and verify it, and then you will get on that leaderboard. Huge shout out to Bodie McBoatpants, my web dev, for helping me make that leaderboard look good, very easy to consume. And it kind of gives you a chance to go back and look at previous episodes as well. You can kind of see what people did in previous months and how fast they were in those previous months. So what do you think, Todd? You going to try the leaderboard this month?
I haven't tried it in a few months, so I probably should get back to it.
I would love to see you get up there on that board again.
Yeah, I mean, and it's rough because it's live, and so I was up there and I was fairly high up there for a while, and then all of a sudden I just started trickling down as other entries came in. It's like, no.
Yeah, that might have been I think that was the month when we had the 3D Connection, the Space Pilot Pro as a prize. That might have been the month that we saw you up there. Sometimes we have some pretty good prizes up there. Most months, kind of the de facto prize is a Too Tall Toby t-shirt. But sometimes we have some pretty big prizes up there, and we're going to just keep seeing that grow as well. So definitely check it out, tootalltoby.com/leaderboard if you want to challenge yourself, challenge your students, get whoever you want to get in there and challenge themselves on that Too Tall Toby leaderboard. So here we are in the tournament. We are now in the round of 16. We saw in the round of 32 some pretty epic matchups, but unfortunately we had to lose 4 people from the black bracket, leaving us with 4 people using Inventor, Onshape, SolidWorks, and Inventor. Pretty epic lineup there. The black bracket is sponsored by Joko Engineering. Check out JokoEngineering.com, making all of your 3D CAD dreams come true. And Joko does a lot of cool content on YouTube for many, many different CAD systems. Alibre, Onshape, FreeCAD. He really runs the gambit. So check out Joko Engineering, great YouTube channel, and a great sponsor of the black bracket. As we move over to the blue bracket, we see that we've got Joost going up against Mohamed, and we've got Victor K, old friend of the show, going up against Will from Brazil. So once again, 3 different CAD systems here in the blue bracket. The blue bracket is sponsored by SolidBox. Todd, I know you're friends with the crew at SolidBox. What do you have to say about them?
Oh, they're awesome. I mean, they helped out a lot with the laptop for Dave Bear a couple years ago, and Chris is just an awesome guy. He's presented at our user group meetings a couple times, so that whole crew is just awesome.
Yeah, I completely agree. The crew at SolidBox has been a longtime friend, not only to Too Tall Toby, but just to the 3D CAD community in general. And lots of good stuff planned on the horizon with the SolidBox crew. So check them out, www.mysolidbox.com. They can help you out with new laptops or new desktops, any kind of new hardware challenges you have. They also offer some training solutions, some consulting solutions. If you need some FEA done or some CFD done, you can check out mysolidbox.com. They can take care of you. Just an awesome crew. And I know I've said it before, but I'll say it again. I think the greatest testament to SolidBox is that generally when somebody becomes one of their customers, they're a customer for life. They don't really, They don't really lose customers. People just see so much value in the services they provide, and they're just a great partner and a great group of people too. So check them out, SolidBox, sponsor of the blue bracket, and excited to see the blue bracket here again with 3 different CAD systems: ANSYS Space Claim, CATIA V5, and SolidWorks. Now we move down to the green bracket, and in the green bracket, we see almost complete domination by SolidWorks. SolidWorks, and Inventor. Joost was in here last week, finishing out the round of 32, showing us why he is the number 2 seed in the entire tournament. Just an absolute crusher in the world of Inventor. Makes some pretty funny videos too when he posts on the leaderboard. It's always funny to watch his videos, so check him out for sure. But we've also got Aaron C going up against Jed Hightower. Jed Hightower in the chat right now tonight. If you guys want to say hi to Jed, Jed is going to be competing on September 23rd, so next week. Wow, I hope you're ready, Jed. And then on October 7th, we're going to see Pranav, a very nice gentleman from India running SolidWorks, going up against Joost with Inventor. And finally, we move over to the red bracket here. As we move into this round of 32, the red bracket is sponsored by Alibre. And Alibre creates powerful yet easy to use 3D CAD, and they made a huge announcement last week with regards to sponsorship. We're going to talk about this in just a moment as well, but I want to give a huge shout out to the crew at Alibre. They really have gone the extra mile to help support the CAD community, putting up prizes for all the runners in the tournament. Huge shout out to Alibre. And we see in this red bracket, we've got a nice set of matches here: Onshape versus SolidWorks, and then Onshape versus SolidWorks. That's what I like to see. So the red bracket is the Onshape versus SolidWorks bracket. We've got Onshape going against SolidWorks. Imants, who is the younger brother of the current reigning world champion of 3D CAD speed modeling. So we might see 2 brothers taking down the title 2 years in a row. That'd be the first time that ever happened in an international 3D CAD speed modeling tournament. So we'll see if that happens this year. And then we're also going to see Jack Sato going up against Jihan Rafa. Pretty epic match last week between Jihan and Mr. Alex. If you guys haven't had a chance to watch that, go back and watch the episode from last week. It was pretty good. So that's the tournament. A lot goes on setting up a tournament like this. I mean, we started out with 32 runners and 4 people on the waiting list, 15 countries represented, and 8 different CAD systems. But after those eliminations, as we move into the round of 16, we see that 6 of those countries were eliminated. We're down to just 9 countries, and 3 of those CAD systems were eliminated. We're down to just 5 CAD systems being represented in this tournament. Who's going to get through? Who's going to be the world champion? What country are they going to come from? What CAD system are they going to be using? We're going to find out. We are going to find out. We've had, I think, let's see, we had a winner from Canada, Ivan the Reasonable, a winner from the United States, Cam Smith, a winner from Germany, Gerben, and then a winner from the United States again, Almas. So, and we've had a SolidWorks winner, an Inventor winner, and an Onshape winner as well. So we'll see what happens, man. This is going to be pretty darn interesting. We got Bucks in the chat. What's up, Bucks? Welcome, welcome. How you doing? Thanks for joining us. Let's go, let's go. Yes, indeed. I want to thank, of course, my crew who's backing me up in this entire endeavor, Mrs. Tall Toby and Bodie McBoatpants, my web dev, for all your web dev needs. That's actually Bodie McBoatpants' NFT as well. So if you want to find that, you can find it in the general store. I don't know if it's for sale yet or not in the general store. I got to look again. But a pretty epic NFT there. Is there a prize? Absolutely. We're all trying to make our way to November 11th. We actually have a facility rented out for November 11th. We're going to do the finals with a live studio audience. And everybody who makes it to November 11th is going to win. Third and fourth place are going to win $125 each. Second place is going to win $250 USD. And first place up top, $500 USD. Wow. That's a lot of money. That is a lot of money. That's going to push me into a new tax bracket, I think. So a lot of money up top. But beyond that, we have some additional prizes from the crew at YOUALIBRE. I mentioned this before, but YOUALIBRE makes powerful yet easy to use 3D CAD software that's affordable, and they're making it even more affordable for all of the runners in this tournament. The software comes in 3 different flavors: Atom 3D Pro and Expert, and YOUALIBRE has put up prizes for all the runners in this tournament. So everyone in this tournament is going to win a seat of YOUALIBRE, and the second place winner is going to win a seat of the professional, and the first place winner is going to win a seat of the expert. So pretty cool stuff here for all of our runners. Huge shout out to the crew over at YOUALIBRE, really trying to spread the word of 3D CAD. Sahil says, YOUALIBRE is OP. Yes, indeed. That is quite the move that they are dropping on everyone. So thanks to YOUALIBRE. Yep, Fabian in the chat saying, thanks, YOUALIBRE. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Very cool to see all the YOUALIBRE users out there who are supporting this. I know that it seems like it's kind of a smaller CAD solution, but they've been around for a really long time, and they've really had a concise mission the whole time. So check them out, YOUALIBRE.com. And thank you so much to the crew at YOUALIBRE for sponsoring all the runners in this tournament. Gary Bruce says, YOUALIBRE user here. Awesome, Gary. Great to see you in here.
It'd be really cool to see somebody win and use YOUALIBRE next year in the tournament.
Oh, man. That would be a pro move. I like the sound of that. All right, well, let's get into it. Let's talk about what we're doing today. That's enough of an intro, I think. For today, what we're going to be doing here is we're going to be taking a look at these matches between our black bracket, sponsored by Joko Engineering, Fabian Pierre using Inventor from France, going up against the GoldenSpamfish using Onshape from the United States. And then in our blue bracket, sponsored by SolidBox, we're going to see Joost from the Netherlands running ANSYS Space Claim, going up against Mohamed from Tunisia running CATIA V5. You know, I kind of stumbled there as I was announcing that. I actually have to go back and check my notes. I can't remember if Gerben is from, I think I said he's from Germany. I think he's actually from the Netherlands as well. I think I said that wrong, so I'll go back and check my notes. If anybody's in the chat and remembers if Gerben is from the Netherlands or Germany, I'm pretty sure he's from the Netherlands. So apologize for missing that earlier. Let me know if anybody knows for sure. And Gerben, if you're out there, can't wait to see you in the next tournament. Guys, if you enjoy what you're seeing here and you want to support the channel, the easiest way to support the channel is just to hit that like button. I see we've got 41 people watching, 42 actually, the perfect number. 43, wow, it just keeps climbing. I love it. Be sure to hit that like button. We want to get the like ratio and the watch ratio to 1-to-1. So be sure to hit that like button. We want to get 40. We got 43 people watching. Let's get up to 43 likes here, and that'll definitely help out. Be sure to subscribe to the channel as well. And I know that I mentioned this a lot, but be sure to share and reshare. You know, if you guys see me posting a flyer on LinkedIn, or you see me posting something on YouTube, you know, just hit that reshare button, repost it to your network. The more people that we get eyes on this tournament, the better, the faster it'll grow. If everybody everybody who's watching today could bring one person next week, and everybody next week could bring one person. You know, before you know it, we're gonna have 1 million people watching live. So just if you see this thing go out on the internet during the week, when you see me spamming the social media boards, just take that post and reshare it. It really helps. It's really easy to do, and it really helps. And everybody in your network's gonna think you're so cool because you were the first person who knew about this tournament and you shared it with them. So just get out there and keep sharing and resharing. It makes a huge difference. And of course, if you want to stay in touch, sign up for a free account at tutaltoby.com. That's another way that you can support the growth of this endeavor. So today in this first match, what we're going to do is we're going to take our two runners, we're going to pit them against one another, we're going to show them a 2D print, and we're going to ask them to turn that into a 3D model as quick as they can. They're going to try to calculate the mass, and they're going to enter that mass in the YouTube chat. Now, the rules for this tournament are pretty straightforward. You have to win 2 points in order to advance. That usually means a best of 3 matchups. So after the first match, if you get a point, you will have 1 point. And if you get a second point, that's going to allow you to move on to the round of 8, the Elite 8. You're allowed to answer wrong 1 time. So Todd, for example, if you were running this thing and you entered your answer in the YouTube chat, I'd say, I'm sorry, Todd, that's incorrect. Please try again. Please try to go through your model. Please try to figure out which dimension you were missing, and that way you can try again. But if you answer wrong a second time, then that's it. You're out, and it's up to the other person to get it correct. We bring up a clock. We bring up a 5-minute clock for the other person, and then they have to get the answer right within 5 minutes. And if they don't, it's a push, and we go on to the next round. You know, we just kind of go on to the next drawing. But you do have to get 2 points. There's no freebies here. Even if, I'm not saying this is ever going to happen, but even if your opponent didn't show up for some reason, you would still have to get the 2 points. You know, there's no freebies here. You still have to get the 2 points. So you'd have to model those 2 models on your own. Not saying that ever happened or ever would happen, but just in case, just throwing that out there.
Small print.
This is so small print there. If you're out there watching in the chat, I encourage you to play along. You know, when I show the 2D print, grab a screen capture of it yourself. Try to model it yourself. But please do not help the runners. These guys are the stars today, so let's let them shine. So don't post the mass in the YouTube chat, and don't say like, hey, you're missing a fillet, or like you forgot to shell, or something like that. Like, don't type anything in the chat. We'll try to watch it, but you know, just don't type anything that's going to help them. Let them figure it out. This is really meant to be 1 versus 1. So let them figure it out, and I think that's pretty much it for the rules. Let's meet our runners. Here we are in the black bracket. Back on July 15th, the very first opening match, we saw Fabian Pierre go against Ty in one of the closest matches we had in the entire tournament. Fabian was able to just barely edge out Ty, who was representing a Libre for the tournament, and move on to this matchup here on the 16th. The GoldenSpamfish went up against Mohamed, a tough competitor representing Bangladesh using SolidWorks, but it was GoldenSpamfish who was able to use dark mode in Onshape and prevail. Now, these guys are going to be paired up against either Ivan the Reasonable or Chadwick, both absolute crushers in the world of 3D CAD. Ivan the Reasonable, a former champion, I think a multi-time runner-up, absolute crusher in SolidWorks. But Chadwick is no slouch. He's got a YouTube channel. It's called Between CAD Classes, and he's a total crusher also. So whoever wins today is going to have a really fierce opponent on October 21st. Good luck to both of our runners today. Let's learn a little bit about them. We got Fabian Pierre, Autodesk Expert Elite, CSWE. So he knows both SolidWorks and Autodesk Inventor. That is impressive. I wonder how many other CAD systems he knows.
No kidding.
And he started Inventor 15 years ago, and he's made over 15 courses on LinkedIn. So check him out. Check out Fabian Pierre's LinkedIn channel. And if you want to learn a little bit about Autodesk, or I don't know what all he's teaching on there. Maybe he's teaching some other stuff too. This is your chance to learn. So it doesn't really say how many CAD systems he knows, but if we look at the GoldenSpamfish, a second-year engineering student, we can see that Onshape is his 3rd CAD program. Wow. So that's pretty impressive too. The GoldenSpamfish knows it all, huh? Wonder what his other CAD programs are. And he works on UAVs at the Applied Physics Laboratory. So that's also
Sweet.
Pretty darn impressive, yeah. A lot of good experience there, for sure. So I think what we'll do here, just to kind of give our runners a chance to get any of the butterflies out or anything like that, I think what we're going to do is we're just going to run a quick practice round, and then we will turn to the Wheel of Fate and see what the Wheel of Fate has in store for these guys. So let's go over to our full screen layout here. so that we can get these guys ready for a quick little practice round. This is not going to be official. This is just practice to make sure that all of our systems are working properly. So here we go. I'm going to have you guys try this out. Our first little quick practice model here. These guys are going to take a screen capture, and they're going to try to turn this into a 3D model. Jed Hightower in the chat says triangle, rectangle, cylinder. What's it going to be? Here we go. 3, 2, 1, go. What is the mass of this part in XXX grams? Yep, Tayfun got it. You got it, locked in. So we're going to have the GoldenSpamfish try this. We're going to have Fabian try this. They're going to be grabbing a screen capture. They're going to be creating a new document. Here we go. Let's flip over to our CAD versus CAD screen. We can see that Fabian is on the left here, running Inventor Professional. We see that the GoldenSpamfish is on the right here, running Onshape in dark mode. This CAD versus CAD showdown is sponsored by Joko Engineering in the black bracket, JokoEngineering.com. Looks like both of our runners have modeled this thing up. They're grabbing the mass. They're typing in. Whoa, those came in fast. Actually, I think Santiago, is an observer. I'm not sure if that is if that is Fabian. Yep, exactly, Santiago. Yep, you're gonna hold off. You're not gonna enter that into the chat. Sorry, this is the other. Okay, good. So that is okay, great. So Santiago is the GoldenSpamfish. Yep. All right, awesome. So Santiago is the GoldenSpamfish. That's perfect. So those did come in like almost at the exact same time.
Photo finish.
Yeah, photo finish for sure. It's really up to however YouTube sorts it here on my end. I do have it set to the live chat. So yeah, YouTube is the arbiter, not me. There's nothing subjective here. Just whichever chat answer comes in first is declared the first answer. So in that case, Fabian would have won that point, and we would have given him a point up top. But that was just practice. You know, we don't decide here at Too Tall Toby which models are going to be rolled out for these runners. That's all up to the Wheel of Fate. So let's flip back to our Wheel of Fate, our decider here, and we're going to find out who's going to get what from the Wheel of Fate here. So if you guys are interested in a little exciting, friendly gambling, you can gamble on which drawing is going to come up. They all start out with 23-T. So if you want to put in the chat what you think it's going to be, I see Ex Machina Engineering thinks 32, Tayfun thinks 46, AMO Alex thinks 46, Gary Bruce thinks 40. We got almost all new models here. There's a couple of 30s here, 32 and 37 that are going to be, they're actually from the round of 32. And the remaining ones are all brand new models for the round of 16, and they are pretty tough. I think I might have made them too tough, honestly. Todd, what do you think it's going to? Oh, 42. Great answer, 42. Yep. Last week Eric was locked in on 43. Thought that was a good answer as well. All right, let's give this thing a rip here. Here we go. Let's see what it's going to be. What are we going to end up with here for these runners? It's looking like 48.
It's a hill.
That's a 48. So, yep, we got Sahil locked it in, $1,000. He's put $1,000 on it. Awesome. So 48 is correct. I'll have Todd write you the check for that $1,000. And all right.
It's a little bouncy.
Nice job. A little bouncy check. It's all good. All right. Nice job to everybody. Great skill being demonstrated there from everyone. And Todd, before we get started with this first match, what do you think? Do you have any advice for these guys?
I'm really excited to see both of them because Onshape's come a long way, and I'm curious to see if he might have done any of the little tweaks to it to like customize it for his particular use. And then it's always fun to watch people in Inventor. Yeah, I mean, it's cool to see a head-to-head with different CAD programs and different operations and just different approaches.
Yeah, I completely agree. I mean, I'm very excited to see how both these runners do. They've both already been through the first round of Too Tall Toby mayhem. They kind of know what to expect. Now we get to really get into it here and see a little bit deeper challenges. So let's go. Let's do it. I'm gonna flip over to my full screen view here. I'm gonna make sure that I got everything set up and pretty much good to go. I do. Guys, this is exciting. Let's flip over to full screen here. I'm ready. You're ready. The very first CAD battle in our round of 16. Getting started here, September 16th. We got Lennart Tyndall in the chat. Welcome. Thanks for joining us, Tyndall. Great to see you in here. All right, here we go. Inventor versus Onshape. Our very first CAD battle begins in 3, 2, 1, go. What is the mass of this part in XXXX grams? Our runners are grabbing a screen capture of this part. They are moving it over to their second monitor. They're looking at the part, coming up with a game plan, and they are jumping into their 3D CAD environment. If you guys want to play along with from home, feel free to grab a screen capture of this thing. And it looks like both of our runners have a good plan and are getting started. So let's flip over to this CAD versus CAD showdown. What do you think about this part, Todd?
We are definitely stepping it up. I mean, this is, like you said, it's getting more complex, and so it's going to be really fun to see the different approaches.
Yeah, I see. We got Inventor on the left. I like the approach here that Inventor's using, almost like he's looking at maybe the section view of this print. I can bring this print up here as our runners are kind of coming up with a game plan, so the audience sort of knows what we're talking about here. You can see that there's several different views of this thing, and there's going to be a lot of different approaches to this thing, but it looks like we got Fabian on the left running Inventor, kind of looking at this thing from a side view, maybe almost inverting what's on the print, which is totally valid. We're just trying to come up with the mass, so if you wanted to draw it upside down, that's fine. What do you got going on?
I'm watching Ryan,
yeah,
and he's kind of hitting it in the approach that I would take. So it's really interesting to see. It's like, okay, somebody's thinking the same way I do, and it's very similar to what I would be doing.
And that's where you draw almost like what's shown in the section view and then spin that around a central axis?
Yep, and then he's doing it all with rectangles instead of doing individual lines.
Okay, you like that approach, huh?
One of those quicker things that I tend to do.
Okay, I've been trying to get used to that since I've been using Onshape more. I've been trying to get more used to that because Onshape really handles those scenarios well. So I've been trying, but I find myself using it in SolidWorks now as well. And I can see on the left here, I can see that Fabian is already created that first shape and is now moving on to creating that little one of those little anchors that's sticking out of those
little flanges.
Yeah, little flanges that are sticking out on the side.
Well, I'm watching Ryan, and he did some of the cool tricks where you just kind of grab and drag to check for your degrees of freedom, just to make sure he's got everything locked in.
Grab a blue point and move it around.
Yep. Same thing I do. I'm really digging it.
Yeah. So now, one of the challenges that always comes up, especially when you're under pressure, is not being able to find the dimension that you need. I'm sure that you have felt that before in various speed modeling challenges.
I know I need to do this. I know I need to do this. Where did that dimension go?
And usually it just ends up being literally right in front of you.
Yep.
And you're kind of like, what am I doing wrong here?
But that's one of those things that I'll do too, because if you just at least throw a dimension on it, you can extrude it and get your thing, and then you can come back in and hit that dimension later.
Well, that's a good point. That's a really good point. Yeah, just throw a dummy dimension on there and hope that you find it later. That's a great strategy, one I hadn't even really thought of.
I do it all the time, because a lot of times when you don't know the exact design intent that somebody's looking for, you just set up something so that you could easily tweak it. And, part of that goes back to Model Mania when you have to change it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a great point.
But, if I'm just knocking out something really quick, I will put dummy dimensions in there.
Yeah, that's a really great point, and definitely a strategy that I think we're gonna probably see more and more people doing now that you said it. I think that's like a pro move strategy. I think everybody could probably learn from that. So I'm just watching Fabian on the left here. We can see that Fabian is kind of now going through and trying to figure out what to do with those lugs that are sticking out, those flanges that are sticking out, and trying to create these additional features on here. Very interesting approach that he's got. One thing that I noticed is his ability to kind of leave the sketch open and then reuse the edge geometry from the model. So we'll see how that pays off for him. I know I keep drawing attention to the GoldenSpamfish using dark mode, but the reason I do that is because Onshape runs in a browser. So it's not just a simple like toggle a switch and it goes to dark mode. You have to do some pretty serious tweaking to chrome, to get chrome to go in dark mode, and then to on shape to make sure that it actually like inverts the colors properly and everything. And I just think that he's done a great job of pulling this off.
Well, and it's really nice and easy on the eyes to look at. So if you're plugging away at this all day long, that's a very relaxing screen.
Yeah, completely agree.
It is still neck and neck.
Yeah, this is the round of 16. There's part of me that wonders if maybe I actually went a little too hard on these, but there's no turning back now, you know?
No.
This is what we all wanted to see. We wanted to see, you know, I see a lot of comments sometimes on these videos. They're like, oh, those models look so easy. Those models look so easy. And it's like, just wait. They're gonna keep getting harder.
Well, and it's like people watching Jeopardy, you know, it's like, oh, I could have answered that. Well, yeah, but when you're on stage and the camera's on you,
yes,
everyone's watching.
Yes, great point. So interesting. So it looks like on the left, Fabian was able to create that feature not using a rib, but using an extrusion. So that's, you know, for that, it's a rib. You know, a lot of programs have a rib feature that'll, you know, the advantage is a lot of times it'll go up to next in multiple directions. But Fabian decided instead to do it with, you know, with using just a regular extrusion. And that's totally fine too. That's the cool thing about these challenges is that a lot of times there's more than one way to get there.
Yeah. And I didn't want to throw out the R word on that.
Yeah. You don't know how much. I feel like we've gotten to the round of 16. These guys probably know what a rib is.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I wasn't sure either.
I was like, I want to see how they're going to handle that.
Yeah.
And I don't know what I want to call it, but
gusset.
Yes.
That's what you
there
can
we
call
go.
it. If you don't want to use the feature name, you can call it a gusset. I did that in the earlier rounds. Eric Beatty in the chat saying, Toby, you've chosen the right level of challenges. No regrets. Appreciate that. All right, and Jürgen is here from Germany. What's up? Welcome. Says best regards to all the participants and good luck. Thank you so much. Thanks for joining us. Well, question here from Gonzalo says, what would be the advantage of the Ivan exploit? I don't think you're going to see as many Ivan exploits available as we go into the round of 16. It's something where, you know, there would be an advantage of using that. There's going to be some models where there's going to be an advantage to using that, but I think these models have gotten a little too complicated. I think you're going to probably end up like tying yourself in knots if you try to use it. So, you know, there's going to be a little bit more. As the models get more and more complicated, have more and more curved and drafted faces, it's going to be harder to use the Ivan exploit.
Yeah, the models are coming up to the level of the runners.
Yeah, I think so as well. Eric's making a great observation here. Yeah, features that intersect cylinders always bring out the most interesting approaches in these competitions. Yeah, I completely agree because you always run the risk of ending up with a zero geometry, zero thickness geometry. Yeah, and so you have to really watch out when you're making stuff against cylinders. And Eric, what a great comment, man. That's completely
nailed
agree.
it.
Yeah, nailed it.
I was watching them both do that, and it's one of those where it's like, oh, okay, you're gonna have to go further in so you don't lose it.
Right. And we see the GoldenSpamfish on the right here, kind of looking at his model, trying to figure out, like, it looks like he's really close, and he's just trying to figure out, like, there's got to be something here. Something's going on with this model, and I can't quite figure out what it is. Yeah.
Double checking before you get the mass.
Yep. A lot of these models here in the round of 16, there's going to be, you know, maybe some oddball dimensioning. Some of the models are going to have some, like I mentioned in the intro, they're going to have some feature dependency where you really are going to have to create your features in a certain order, or else you're not going to be able to get the geometry that you need to be constrained. Exactly. Tayfun giving a shout out to the model. Thank you. Appreciate it. Oh, I got to get sure that I'm ready for this as the solutions start rolling in.
Because they are really close.
Yeah.
And we are going to see some weights coming in any second now.
Very, very
We've got to wait from Ryan.
Okay, the GoldenSpamfish is coming in with an answer. His answer is 1450 grams, and that is correct. So let's give it up for the GoldenSpamfish. 1450 is correct. Fabian coming in 1509, right behind him, very, very close as far as time goes. But it was the GoldenSpamfish who was able to answer that correctly using on shape. Very nicely done, locking down the first point. Congratulations to the Golden Spamfish, also known as Ryan, also known as, what's his other name here? Santiago.
Oh, yeah.
Blomman. He's got it all. He's got it all. Very
It's a stage
nicely
name.
done. It's a stage name. We like it. We like it. Let's give a GG to the winner for that one. Wow, wow, wow. That was awesome. Cole Dawson says, my money's on Ryan to take the whole thing. Wow. Eric Beatty says, GG to Ryan and also GG to Santiago. Very nice. Liam says, great job, guys. Great job. I agree. Great job, guys. Yeah, that was awesome. Nice job. Very close the whole time. Man, oh man, oh man. X Machine Engineering coming in with some guidance here. You could potentially start the flanges at the top plane, put the ribs under it. That would save a plane definition. Oh, he's trying to talk about an Ivan exploit there. Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
true. You
could do that for sure. There often will be ways to do it. But again, you just got to avoid tying yourself in a knot by doing it. Very, very good stuff, guys. We're going to learn a little bit more about our runners. But before we do, let's turn to the wheel. That way we can get the next matches loaded up and keep this competition moving along. Wow, nice match to Fabian. Nice match to the Golden Spamfish. So close. Gary Bruce says, awesome match. I completely agree. All right, guys, let's get those number bets in here. We're gonna stop taking bets here in just a minute. So let's see what we got. Eric Beatty coming in with 43. I like it. Mixing it up a little bit. We got Big Forms AZ 42. We like the 42. Top Blacksher coming in 42. We got X Machine Engineering rooting for that 32. Still hoping that we end up getting that 32. I like that as well. All righty, let's give this thing a rip. Here we go. Here we go. What will it be? What will it be? What does the Wheel of Fate have in store for our runners today? Looks like 42. Let's go. 42 is the winner. Congratulations to everybody who came up with 42 as their prediction. You were all correct.
Life, the universe, and everything.
Life, the universe, and everything. Yep. I don't have my bass. I've been playing acoustic lately, but I got a new sticker for my bass. It's Life, the universe, and everything sticker, and it's so epic. It is so epic. Yeah. I'll show you guys that one next week. All right, let's learn a little bit more about our runners. So we know that Fabian started using Inventor 15 years ago and has 15 plus courses for LinkedIn. But did you also know that when I've started working in freelance, my first payment arrived just in time before I was evicted? Have you ever had that feeling before, Todd? Or you're just
I've had some pretty close calls, but I don't think anything like that.
Just barely got that money in there. I've definitely had those conversations with landlords in my time. And he's also a big fan of old motorcycles. Has a Yamaha FZ1 from 2008. Very cool, very cool. And the Golden Spamfish is a proud owner of a 500 millimeter by 500 millimeter build volume 3D printer.
Wow.
Wow. Yikes.
I make big stuff.
Yes, indeed. And also consumes 15 plus kilograms of 3D printing filament each year. Yeah.
Wow.
Let's go. That's what's up. I'd probably go through, I don't know, maybe like 3 or 4 kg. So
I go through a fair amount, but not nearly that much.
Yeah, not 15. I'm not going that high. Yeah. And yeah, that's a lot. It's a lot of filament. So what do you think after watching that first match, Todd? What advice would you give to our amazing runners?
The way that they were going in that last round, basically the same thing that they were doing, because they were neck and neck and they both had great modeling techniques. Everything I saw I liked. I don't know what they can do to like speed it up anymore. And I did really like to see Golden Spamfish grabbing and pulling and checking, what are the degrees of freedom? What do I need to dial in? What do I need to lock down? Yeah, I saw Fabian do that as well.
That gusset, I noticed that like there was a dimension on there that was coming from the wrong direction on that gusset, and he had to figure out how to fix that up. And I like the way, like you said, he just kind of like hack and slashed it in there, got through the rest of the model, and then came back. He knew he had to do something there, and then he came back and was like, okay, this isn't the right dimension. Let me figure this out. Once the rest of the model was done. Yeah, I think that's a great technique, because I think it's just kind of how our brains get. You get you know, you get stumped in one section and then you can't get over it, you can't get past it. But sometimes if you just go on and work on other features and then come back to it later, it's like it all clicks then. So
because you stop thinking about it and it's in the back of your head.
Yeah.
By the time you finish that next feature, you can jump back, and that's why I really like the dummy dimensions.
Yeah. Yep, that's great. That's a great pro tip. I think a lot of people are going to start using that. All right, well, let's get into it here. If the GoldenSpamfish has 1 point, if he can lock down another point, he's going to move on to the round of 8. But if Fabian can come back and tie it up, then we are going to see what happens. GoldenSpamfish in the chat says, I iterate aggressively. That is a t-shirt logo if I ever seen one.
Totally.
That is a great t-shirt logo. So we'll see if we can get those t-shirts made. And let's get into this next CAD battle between Inventor and Onshape in our round of 16. This next CAD battle begins in 3, 2, 1, go. What is the mass of this part in XXXX grams? The tolerance is plus or minus 3 grams. This part is called multi-shaft. You can see that there is a little bit of magenta text on this print. That usually means there's a little bit of a tricky area. In this case, those two radius faces are tangent on the one side, but actually have a flat spot on the other side. So whenever you see those magenta notations, that's an indicator that there's maybe a little bit of a tricky area in the model. All right, both of our runners are in their CAD system. Go ahead, Todd. I'm sorry I cut you off there.
Pay attention to the swoopy stuff.
Pay attention to the swoopy stuff, yeah. Yeah, sometimes it's a matter of a fillet or like a little bit of a weird area, an asymmetric feature, whatever it is. Whenever you see that magenta text, that's my little love note to the runners, letting them know.
Pay attention right here.
Yeah.
All right, we're off and running.
All right. Ex Machina says, "Are you sure this model could be called Oh Crap?" Yeah. Yeah, you see a model like this, you're going to be like, oh boy, what am I getting into here? Just to get a little view here of the 2D print for anybody who's watching from home. There's a lot going on in this model. It's going to take, a little bit of planning. It's going to take some skills as far as modeling. There's going to be some sketches that I'm sure are going to fight you as far as tangency constraints go. As always, it's interesting to see how our runners approach these models. I see over on the left, Fabian is taking what I would call a footprint approach, where he's looking down on this thing from a top, kind of seeing how it would sit on the table, how it would mount to the other part, and he's drawing that kind of triangular footprint. What's the golden
GoldenSpamfish is doing kind of a profile approach, which once again is kind of how I was tempted to approach it.
Okay.
And the funny thing is, I'm a lot like Eric on this, where I'm more of I can't just jump right in and start modeling. It's really tough for me to do that because I really got to work it out in my head before I even start. So it'd be really boring to watch me do this because there'd be a whole lot of nothing happening and then all of a sudden just a flurry of activity, and it'd be like, okay, hopefully I can come from behind because they're already halfway done and I'm just getting started.
Yeah, it's funny you say that. I think we saw some of that last year in the finals between Ivan the Reasonable, who's got many years of experience, working for customers, and then we had him going up against Allness, who's a little bit younger, got that kind of young engineer spirit in him, and we saw that exact phenomenon, where as soon as the match started, you'd see Allness creating his model in Onshape, creating his first sketches, and Ivan's screen would just kind of sit there blank, for 5, 10, 15 seconds. And you're kind of like, is Ivan okay? But then all of a sudden it was just this flurry of activity, and then boom, he was done. And it was all perfectly accurate, all best practices.
Because Allness just dives in head first. And there have been a couple where I've been watching and playing along, and it's like, good grief.
So fast. So fast. Yeah.
It's like I'm figuring out where I want to start. I'm kind of plotting it all in my head. And and I have seen some of the people that do that have to drop back and make a few major changes, and that's where I would be able to catch up. But
yeah,
holy cow, it's a different mindset.
Yeah. I mean, both techniques are valid, and we've seen people win using either techniques. It's kind of the interesting thing. It's like, is there eventually going to be one technique that's better than the other, or is it going to be? That's the cool thing about being in the beginning phases of this tournament. We're seeing a lot of different people using a lot of different techniques and a lot of different winners. you know, using
Right.
these different techniques. So we really haven't gotten to that point yet where that curve is leveling off and we're figuring out like, oh yeah, this is the optimal strategy. I think that only comes with time.
And I think a lot of it too is, you know, like if you have that plan on how you want to do it and you're able to use all of your shortcuts and all of, you know, all of that, it might not be the best technique, but if it works for you and you can work your way through it fast, there you go.
Right. Yeah, that's the whole thing. I mean, that's really like the spirit of how this whole thing started. People, when I would work tech support, when you work tech support, I'm sure you were asked like, hey, what's the best CAD system out there? And I would always say like, it's not really the wand. It's more about the wizard, you know? Like,
Yes.
and then I said, you know what? I really want to have a wizards battle one day. And now here we are. Just a few years later, we got the wizards battle going and we're going to find out, you know, who's the best wizard with that wand, but who is the best wizard out there?
And it's exactly it, because I mean they're approaching it different, but you know this is going to be it. It's already a nail biter.
Yeah, it could easily
It's
go
neck and neck.
either way. Yep. Yeah, this is. I like this approach. I like the approach that the GoldenSpamfish is using, but I also know that, you know, on Fabian's screen, you know, we can't really see it from this angle, but he's already got all that triangular geometry all worked out, all done, all modeled. And so it really is neck and neck.
Because, you know, Spamfish is working on the second and, you know, the triangular portion, and Fabian's got that, and he's almost got that dialed in. So it's, oh my God, it's neck and neck.
Just that nose portion. Having the one with the flat spot and the one that just goes straight tangent is, I knew it was going to cause these guys to get their
It was just mean.
knotted up. Yeah. But it's, you know,
I'm going to throw this in there just to mess with people.
it's just part of the challenge, you know. It's like when you have models like this where you have the different faces that are coplanar and you have like these transitions between the different faces, it definitely gets a little bit dicey, and it can cause people to kind of get hung up.
It's still just neck and neck.
Yeah. Procky in the chat is saying, I have to look at the drawing for a couple of minutes before I get started. Yeah.
I'm in the same boat.
Yeah.
You know, like I was saying, Eric's the same way. We've talked about it before. You know, and I don't know if it's a generational thing or a way you were trained thing. I've just always been the planner.
Well, Sahil in the chat is saying, how about if I did a slow modeling tournament?
I saw that.
A lot of people sound they're interested, so slowest one to finish is the winner. I like that.
Well, and I think that's part of why I like the regular challenges where you just record them.
Yeah.
Because that gives me time to think about how I want to do it. And then it's just a matter of speeding up my clicks and getting everything to fall into place as quick as possible.
Yeah, and I think that, you know, that, like you said, it gives you a chance to plan. It gives you a chance to practice. I did a live stream a couple of months ago where I used Onshape, and my goal was to get under 6 minutes for the 3 models. And it's really cool to like be able to go through and practice each model. Be like, oh, if I did it this way, maybe look at some of the other. Oh, we got an answer that came in.
Fabian's got a number.
Fabian's coming in with an answer here. So Fabian has come in with the answer, 6766 grams. That is not correct. That is not correct. Incorrect. 6766 grams. That is not correct. That is incorrect. So we're going to let Fabian look at the model.
Still time to check it out.
Still time to check it out. Try to figure out what he's missing, what's going on there that's off. We see that Fabian has that chance.
Looks like he's getting close.
Yep, Spamfish. I'm just going back through the chat, making sure I didn't miss anything. I didn't miss anybody.
No, I haven't seen him put in a number yet,
okay.
But I think he's going to be doing that any second now.
Okay. And in the meantime, we're going to let Fabian have a chance to try to figure out what he's got off.
Oh,
okay.
We've got a number.
GoldenSpamfish is coming in with an answer of 5794 grams. That is not correct. That is not correct. So both of our runners have now submitted one incorrect answer. So when the next runner submits an answer, if it is incorrect, they will be out of the running for this point. We will bring up a clock for the other. If they both get it incorrect, that's okay. I wouldn't mind watching these guys battle each other all day, honestly. Yep, neither of them got it.
Wow, nail biter.
Well, nail
Totally
biter.
nailed
Yep.
it.
So, yep. So the tolerance on this one is plus or minus 3 grams. I am taking that tolerance into account. Fabian's answer was 6, 7,
He's
6,
got
6.
another one.
Fabian coming in with a new answer here. 6, 8, 1, 3. That is not correct. Not correct. So I'm sorry, Fabian. Those are your 2 incorrect answers. And we are going to bring up a clock here for the Golden Spamfish. I knew these models were going to be tough. I knew this was going to be a possibility, and that's okay. But we are going to be bringing up a clock here for the Golden Spamfish. The Golden Spamfish now has 4 minutes and 55 seconds to finish this model out. The Golden Spamfish is going to be looking through, looking at all of the dimensions, trying to figure out what dimension maybe was wrong there. Fabian is probably going to keep looking at his model as well. Procky is asking if we can see the drawing again. I'm going to bring it up here in the overlay. I don't want to miss too much of the action. You can always roll back in the video. The video does have the DVR function, but I can just bring it up here real quick, show you kind of the drawing up top. Gonzalo asking a question, does Inventor have the delete face? I'm not sure if it does or not. Jed in the chat saying, nice job, Fabian. I agree.
Yeah, and I have a feeling he's going to find the right answer. I mean, it won't count for this one, but
yeah, don't enter
if
it.
he's anything like me, he's going to want to figure it out.
Yeah, exactly.
Just don't post it in the chat.
Don't post in the chat, exactly. Exactly. So we got...
At this point, it's a pride thing.
Yep. So this is kind of like Friday afternoon. You work with the machine shop simulator that's going on here. We got the situation here where you're in the machine shop, or the machine shop has come to you and has said, hey, listen, we want to put this part on the CNC before we leave. We're leaving at 5 o'clock. Can you get us this part in the next 3 minutes? Because if you can get us this part in the next 3 minutes, we can run the machine. We can be cutting chips all weekend. And that's great. Yep. That's great for everybody. If you can't do it, it's okay. You know, the machinists, they don't think that the CAD guys know anything anyway. They just know how to make a bunch of fillets that they can't machine anyway.
Yep.
Fillet everything. Put 1 million fillets on that thing.
I had that yesterday. I had a part that I wanted to get on the printer because it was going to be like a 12, 13 hour print. And I really wanted to get out of there a little bit early. And so I was plugging away. And it's like, okay, I got it. Yeah. Sent it to the printer. And I don't even think I had made it home yet. And there was a plastic jam because I'll get an email. So I ran out there at like 4 o'clock this morning and got it running again.
Let's go. Yeah, for me, I think that the simulator, the simulator for me is to, I'm out, with my roommates, and we're just gonna swing by the house real quick. I just need to swing by the house real quick to get something. I go inside, I look at the print, I take it off the printer. I'm like, oh, this is too big, or this isn't gonna fit, or whatever. So I jump into CAD and I make the changes real quick, and then put it back on the printer, and then go back out to the car. And I'm like, okay, I'm ready to go. And you have to do that in that limited, whatever you have, 2 minute window before your roommates start getting mad at you and say,
I got this.
What were you doing in there? Yeah.
Oh, nothing. I just had to grab my wallet.
Giving the dog some water. That's it. So we got the Golden Spamfish here, running down the clock. 1 minute and 33 seconds remain.
And I would use every bit of that. I would just want to be absolutely positive before I put in the weight.
Yeah.
I think that's what he's doing right now.
Yep.
I think he's making sure that it's completely dialed in.
Yep.
He's got plenty of time.
Yep. Plenty of time. 70 whole seconds. And again, it's based on, it is YouTube as the arbiter. So just make sure that you're, maybe giving yourself a little bit of a buffer. Don't wait till the very last second. I'd say maybe wait till like the last 10 seconds, just in case there's a YouTube, glitch or anything like that. Welcome, Joost. Everything good here for you, Joost? Yep, we are good. We're totally good, bro. All right, let me go back.
Awesome.
Am I okay? So we got. I'm looking at the chat. I'm not seeing anything coming in. I didn't miss it, right? I'm good here. Okay. You didn't see anything come in, right?
We have a wait. It just came in.
Okay, here we go. So the golden spamfish has come up with an answer. 4.815 grams. And that is correct. So that is going to give the golden spamfish the win. The golden spamfish is going to move on to the round of 8. What a matchup there, guys. Wow, wow, wow. That was pretty darn epic. My goodness. That was awesome. Man, both of our runners struggling a little bit with that part, but we're able to come through in the end, get the correct answers, and wow, wow, wow. If you look at Fabian's screen on the left there, you can see that Fabian also has come up with 4.815 grams, also has come up with the correct answer. What a nail biter, and what a match. My goodness.
That was awesome.
That was indeed awesome. Guys, congratulations. Congratulations to both of our runners. Thank you guys so much for being a part of this. Fabian, I know we're going to see you again next year in the tournament, so let's give a GG to the winner, but really let's give a GG to both of our runners. Good game to everyone. Really, really cool. Such a close matchup. Yes.
Wow.
Yeah. Wow. That was intense. That's what we look for.
Yeah.
My goodness,
Need
my
to put
goodness.
the blood pressure cuff on now.
Yeah, my blood pressure is up. I'm sure these guys are really feeling it. So thank you guys so much for joining us today for this epic showdown. We got to see Fabian versus the Golden Spamfish in that black bracket, sponsored by Joko Engineering. Such a good matchup from both of our runners, and congratulations to the Golden Spamfish using OnShape in dark mode and moving on to the round of 8. Can't wait to see him again, and he's going to go up against either Ivan the Reasonable or Chadwick. I'm sure that's going to be a good matchup, and excited to see where we go with that one. And also over in the blue bracket, our next match is going to be between Joost, 20-year-old engineering student using ANSYS Space Claim from the Netherlands, going up against Mohamed from Tunisia using CATIA V5, a certified SolidWorks expert, just like me and Todd, who also knows CATIA. So very, very cool matchup here. And if you guys are enjoying this, be sure to hit that like button. Looks like we got about 61 people watching. We got 35 likes. Let's see what we can do to get that like to match up with the number of viewers. We always want that to be a 1-to-1 ratio. We want to make sure that we share and reshare. If you guys want to take a screen capture of this matchup, maybe roll back the video a little bit, take a screen capture, post it on your social media, say, this is really cool. These guys are doing this every Saturday. Visit tootalltoby.com/tournaments. Be sure to share and reshare. And of course, sign up for a free account over at tootalltoby.com. Another great way to support the channel. We can also support the channel through what's called Super Chat. If you have a credit card and you want to send some Super Chat our way to keep these tournaments running, it's a great way to show that you support the channel. You can use the Super Chat down at the very bottom of the YouTube chat window. There's a little $ symbol. Or you can use what's called Super Thanks. If you're watching this in a recording, you can use what's called Super Thanks, and that is how you can send some money our way, support the channel. Great way to show your support is with that Super Chat or that Super Thanks. And I figured I would take this opportunity while we're getting set up for these next matches to turn it over to you a little bit, Todd. I know you have some exciting upcoming events. You have the SWG Denmark event coming up, talking about SLUGME on September 26th. You want to talk to the crowd about that at all? Maybe share a link with the crowd?
Yes, I can throw that into the chat. Lennart's meeting is coming up on the 26th. And Eric and I are going to be hanging out with Lennart and chatting about what we're going to be doing for SLUGME 8. So super excited about that. We can talk about it a little bit here, but if you really want to get a deep dive, jump into Lennart's meeting, and it's going to be a lot of fun.
Okay. That sounds pretty cool.
Me and Eric just love to talk about SLUGME.
Yes, indeed. Yeah, so SLUGME, of course, is also an interesting topic, and you guys have a SLUGME officially coming up October 28th. That's when the next SLUGME is? Or October 26th?
Yes.
Excuse me?
26th.
Yep.
And I'll go ahead and throw the link in for the YouTube video. We are doing it during the week and during the day, so it's going to be a good one where if you can talk to your employer, it'd be really fun to have watch parties at work.
Okay.
You know,
Like
and
that.
hopefully you can tune in for a little bit. It's going to be all about making and building. We are going to design and build all in the episode. You know, we're
Nice.
going to have a finished product when we're done.
Very nice. Wow.
So
That's
I'm
cool. Okay.
super stoked.
And what's
It's-
going to
it's
be the duration of that event?
We don't know yet.
Okay.
I would guess we were probably going to be in like maybe the 3 to 4 hour range. I mean, we did that 24-hour thing a couple years ago. It ended up running long. So I think we ran like 25 and a half hours.
Yeah.
No, we're not going to do that again. That was a little too long to stay awake.
Okay. That was a pretty fun event though.
Yeah. It was awesome.
Yeah. All around
Last
the
year
world.
we did, a good couple hours, and it was a nice comfortable one. We did a whole lot of really cool stuff. This time we're hoping to even help out more.
Well,
So
I'm very excited to see it. October 26th. Be sure to check that out, guys. There's also going to be a design contest that goes into that.
yes. Can we drop that? We're not supposed to share that
Okay,
quite
and
yet.
we're gonna
so I'm
just
not
keep-
going to share the link.
We're not going to talk about that. We're going to talk about, I want to talk about something else that's kind of special that's going on right now, which is just to say a happy birthday. We got a very special birthday girl out there. So we're going to say a happy birthday to Eva. Hello, Eva. Happy birthday. Turning 9. So congratulations. That's one of my favorite years, was being 9. You still get to have all the fun of being a little kid. You're not in double digits yet, so really enjoy that 9th year and have fun. And I hope you get everything that you ask for your birthday. And it sounds like you have an awesome dad who's showing you what the world of 3D CAD speed modeling is all about. So that's pretty cool. And happy birthday to Eva, turning 9 tomorrow. Happy birthday, Eva.
That is awesome.
Yeah, that is awesome. And the whole chat is chiming in and saying happy birthday as well. That is awesome. Happy Eva Day. I like that. Cool.
Fans from all over.
Yeah, happy birthdays from all over the world. That is indeed all over the world. That's cool.
There's a good question in the chat.
Yeah.
Is there a
got a
way
question in
to
the chat.
see in SolidWorks the updated live weight of the part without clicking on physical properties?
Yeah, great question. So the answer to that is you can use what are called sensors. Sensors are the most elegant way to do that, in my opinion. And if you visit the Too Tall Toby YouTube channel and you look at the videos, maybe look at the videos in the Power Moves playlist, there is a video on how to set up sensors. So I have one video on there on how to set up templates so that you can get off on the right foot when you're making 3D CAD models with the correct materials, and then one video in there on using sensors, and that'll definitely help you to more quickly determine the weight of the part without having to click on the physical properties.
I showed sensors in the second SLUGME when I filled the bathtub.
Nice. Very nice. Yeah, there's also, I saw a runner in the leaderboard challenge who did it using the custom properties tab.
Yep.
So you can use the custom properties tab. Usually you would use that to have consistency across multiple parts so that you can always have your team filling out the same properties for everyone. You can make dynamic lists, but this user was using it specifically just to have kind of a dynamic view of the weight. That's another way to do it, or the mass. That's another way to do it. So yeah, I would say sensors are how I would do it, but there are some other ways you can do it too.
Another question, how to select all surfaces of a model to calculate surface area. This is one of my favorites because it basically pulls on a Windows trick is how I do it.
Okay, let's hear it.
If you click on a face and hit Control A, it will select all like things. So if you select a face,
That's cool.
hit Control A, it'll select all faces.
That's very cool. Yeah, I was going to say you could press X on your keyboard. That'll turn on the face filter, the selection filter for faces, and then do a
Just
Control
window.
A. But you don't even have to do that. You can just press one face and then Control A. That's pretty cool. Do you know that you can, if you select a face on the model and the face that you select has an appearance, there's a shortcut for that too, like a control. You can Control C and then paste appearance onto a different surface. Wow, I really like botched this tutorial. I had it in my brain, and then I was like, wait a second, what's the keystrokes again? I'll circle back to that one next week.
I think it's like shift control, because it was one of those Vulcan death grip kind of things where you're hitting multiple keys.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, like shift control C and then like control V on the other faces. All right, I'll circle back. Now I'm gonna have to make a video on that to kind of save face a little bit here.
Because that might have been one that I did in my SLUGME as well.
Yeah,
because I was just throwing out. It was like a parade throwing out candy. I was just like, here's a trick, here's a trick.
Here's a trick. Here's another one for you, one for you. Yeah, cool.
You get a trick. You get a trick.
All right, guys, let's take a look at this blue bracket matchup. The winner today, September 16th, between Joost and Mohamed, is going to go up against either Victor K or Will. I don't envy either of you for being in this spot because both Victor K and Will are absolute beasts. But we got a couple of absolute beasts here in Joost and Mohamed. Mohamed showing Rest how it's done back on July 29th, showing him Katia is alive and well and absolutely crushing in the world of 3D CAD speed modeling. Joost bringing a new game to the table in ANSYS Space Claim, was able to defeat Roberto G, who was using FreeCAD, and now showing all of us some new moves in the world of ANSYS Space Claim. So very interested to see these two CAD packages, a couple of CAD packages that a lot of people maybe haven't seen before. This is really going to be interesting. So.
Well, and Joost just walked in the door not too long ago.
Yeah.
I mean, he just got here.
Yep. Gave us a heads up that he might be running late and was able to make it, and right on time, just like a wizard is always on time.
Totally. And I'm interested in seeing Katia V5 because way back in the day, I was using Katia V4 and we had someone come out to show us some more stuff, and she had the beta version of V5.
Nice.
So I got to see that. And it's changed radically.
Sure.
I mean, from the beta, which they usually do, but the beta version looked a lot like its little brother.
Well, this is going to be interesting. I think a couple of exotic CAD packages here that a lot of people maybe haven't seen. Let's learn a little bit about these runners. Joost, as we mentioned before, age 20 engineering student, has started using Space Claim 6 years ago. Clearly has gotten a real mastery of it from his results on the leaderboard and also moving through the round of 32, and is an electrical engineer as a hobby. Does electrical engineering as a hobby. That's good to know. And Mohamed is started using SolidWorks back in 1999 and started using Katia in 2009. So, wow, a lot of experience in both packages. So Mohamed knows how to use both. That's pretty cool. All right, so guys, let's do a quick practice model again for these guys, just to get them started, give them a chance to kind of work out any butterflies or anything, make sure that they're feeling good about these challenges. Let's take a look here at our first practice round, just a practice round. It also helps for Todd and I, helps us to make sure that all of our systems are set up and working properly. So let me jump over to full screen here, and we're going to take a look at this first practice round between ANSYS Space Claim and Katia V5. This practice matchup begins in 3, 2, 1, go. What is the mass of this part in XXXX grams? What is the mass of this part? So both of our runners are grabbing a screen capture, moving it over onto their second screen, making sure that they've got, everything that they need to complete this model. Jumping right into the CAD systems, let's take a look here at what these two different CAD systems look like. We got ANSYS Space Claim here on the left, Joost running ANSYS Space Claim, and we got Katia V5 on the right here. See if we can get this a little more. Yep, there we go. Kind of see what's going on here. Can I move this over? Not really.
Interesting approach from Joost. I like it, and I can see the benefit because it was quick. I mean, he's paying attention and doing like minimizing clicks.
Yeah.
But we're about to see numbers come in.
Yeah, let's see who ends up getting this one correct.
Joost came in with the number.
Yep. Joost coming in Looking pretty solid there.
And
Mohamed coming in. 3159 is the correct answer. Very nice to both of our runners. Both of our runners were able to get that first try. Nicely done. It looks like all systems are go here. We got the overlays correct. We got the chat correct. Everybody's looking good. Guys, if you're ready for this epic showdown, throw a 1 in the chat. I am definitely ready for this epic showdown. But before we can even have this epic showdown, you know what we need to do, right? Consult the wheel. So here we go. Let's consult the wheel. I think I'm going to randomize the wheel. Let me see if I can randomize this thing. I think I can. Here we go. Shuffle. Let's shuffle this wheel a little bit here. That way all the numbers aren't batched together. There we go. All right.
Oh, geez.
There we go. We shuffled that bad boy. So what do we think? Okay, we got answers coming in here. Eric Beatty says 43. Mixing it up a little. Todd's going to shift to 37. Sahil going with 37. Tayfun 41. John TL 43. Gary Bruce coming in with 40. We got Stefan coming in 46. Jet Hightower 47. We got AMO Alex 43. Vicky Chong in the chat 41. Josh coming in 32. Rich Penn 37. And Ex Machina Engineering 32. What's it going to be? What's it going to be? Let's let it rip and find out. What does the Wheel of Fate have in store for our runners today? Okay.
Spin faster.
Oh, wow. Wow, that just notched over at the last second there. I wasn't sure which one we were going to end up with there. Okay. That was right on the line, but we got model number 40. Gary Bruce is the winner. Congratulations, Gary. And let's get this stuff ready to go. Wow. Okay, this is going to be a good one here. That was right on the line. Todd, what do you think? Any advice for our runners here as they go into this first matchup?
What I saw just in the quick race at the beginning, I saw 2 different approaches and they both worked and it was a photo finish. So I don't know that I would tell them to change anything.
Okay.
Because I have a feeling this is going to be a real nail biter, just like the first match. Because anytime the practice goes that tight, you know that the rounds are going to be like that.
Yeah, I gotta agree. And I guess that's just enough talking. Let's just get into it here. Let's just go. Everybody's ready. So guys, let's get into it here. Our very first CAD battle between ANSYS Space Clean and CATIA V5, Joost versus Mohamed, begins in 3, 2, 1, go. What is the mass of this part in XX.XX grams? Tolerance is plus or minus 2 grams. This part is called oven knob. Interesting part here. Give everybody in the audience a chance to look at it. Maybe grab a screen capture so you can figure out how you want to handle this part. It looks like our runners are getting off to a great start. Let's flip over to this CAD versus CAD battle. This is the first time we've had a model that I've included 2 isometric or rendered views, just so that everybody in the audience can kind of see what we're dealing with here. If you look at that print, Todd, I'm sure that you would agree there's some trickery going on with this model.
Well, and I saw some fuchsia notes there.
Yep, we got some fuchsia notes. That's always important. But yeah, there's this one's going to be interesting. It's going to be really interesting to see how they approach this. I know how I would approach this model, but that's not saying much because I created the drawing.
Well, and the first thing I thought was that you had to fix your oven and you did this to print a new part.
Correct. That is correct. Yes. I needed a 3D model, so I created this challenge just so I get these guys to do the 3D model for me.
And 2 different approaches once again. And once again, I'm kind of with the one on the right. That's the approach that I would take.
Yeah, kind of taking a look at it from almost like a cross-sectional view.
Eric's being punny again.
I like it.
The king of all puns.
Yeah. All right.
I had to give my crown to him.
So if we notice here, Joost, I actually had to look away there for a second because I was trying to get this overlay to look just a little bit tidied up, and Joost is already Moving through this model, really interesting to see how he approaches this. I mean, look at that, how quickly he was able to go from just having the kind of side walls there laid out to having that angled cap on top. And now he's going to be able to move into the next section of this challenge. One thing I noticed about Ansys Space Claim is just how easily you seem to be able to kind of push, pull, or delete faces, include faces. And he's already, you know, seemingly almost done with the model, but I got a feeling this model is going to be a little deceptive with regards to how these features are kind of overlapping.
There's some trickery going on, and Mohamed's in good shape. I mean, he's not, I don't want to say he's behind him at all, because he's in a good spot.
I agree. Yeah, I agree.
It's going to be interesting because that little knob, the handle part, is going to be a really fun part to model.
Yeah, and one of those fuchsia notes that you mentioned earlier is that face on that knobby is conical. It's a conical face. So it's not, you're not just like creating a drafted extrusion or anything. You have to figure out a way to make that face conical. And that's where I think our runners are going to maybe run into a little bit of a challenge.
And it's conical with an N, not an M, so you can't make it funny.
I'm sure that between you and Eric, you could come up with a way to make it pretty funny.
We're neck and neck. It's the shared brain.
Yeah, I like it. I like it.
Oh, I like what he's doing here.
Yep, that's the approach Mohamed is taking is very similar to the approach that I would take, but I'm really focused here on the left screen on what Joost is doing with Space Claim. Very interesting.
It's interesting.
Approach.
I see what's going on. And
Gonzalo observing that, yep, we've got both non-English speakers in the challenge today. It is truly a worldwide tournament today. We have 4 different countries today, 4 different CAD systems. Really, really special day today to kick things off on this round of Sweet 16. Yep, on September 16th.
I didn't even catch that.
Yeah,
Holy cow.
Love when the numerology lines up. So this is really interesting how Joost is approaching this thing. The geometry that he's creating here, the removal of geometry that you can take advantage of with Ansys Space Claim. Really a lot of like delete face, patch face. Love seeing this approach. I love seeing this, this approach from Space Claim.
That's wild.
Yeah.
And I like what Mohamed's doing because it's very similar to what I would do.
Yeah.
Well, I hate to say I'm partial to the way I do things, but it's just one of those. It's like, I recognize this. That's how my brain works.
Right. Exactly.
And are we going to have it looks like Joost is almost ready to do a weight.
Yep. I thought I maybe saw something coming in, but he's kind of double checking, making sure that he's feeling good. So Joost coming in with an answer, 50.96 grams. That is not correct. That is something that he's gonna have to look at, try to figure out what's going on with his design.
And Mohamed's really close. I mean, he is a feature away.
Mm-hmm.
Just a nail biter again.
Yeah. I'm really interested in watching the way Joost is, now troubleshooting. Seeing a CAD package I'm not really that familiar with. It's so interesting to see how he's able to go through and troubleshoot, and whether it's removing material or adding material, whatever it is he's doing here, it's so interesting to see how these different CAD packages work and what kind of control they give you over. It's almost like a lot of direct editing. You can tell that's where Joost is very comfortable, in that space of direct editing, delete face, add face, move, push pull faces, stuff like that.
Oh, Joost. Okay, that's the number originally. Okay, I got excited. There wasn't a whole lot happening in the chat because I think everybody's just glued.
Yeah.
Because I think we're really close to seeing a number from Mohamed. Oh, Mohamed threw in a number.
Coming in with an answer, 50 grams. That is not correct. Not correct. So 50, not within the specified tolerance, we'll say. Not correct. We're going to have...
Time to triple check everything.
Yep, everybody's going to be triple checking everything. Got both of our runners kind of struggling with this particular model, and that's okay. It's, you know, it looks simple enough when you look at that 2D print. You think to yourself, there's not even that many dimensions. You know, this shouldn't be too hard. But it's a matter of feature creation. It's a matter of you know, kind of going through and double checking all the dimensions. It's a matter of, you know, looking at all of those notes. It's a matter of if Mohamed can maybe get the precision of your calculator there. I think that might be what's jamming you up there, is that we're going out to 2-place precision.
And the interesting part is I just now thought of a different way to approach this. And it's not how either of them did it. And it's well after the fact.
So Mohamed,
we have a new entry
from
Mohamed.
Mohamed revising to 48.59 grams. That is not correct. Not correct. So on this, our very first matchup between these two titans, we've got 2 incorrect answers from Mohamed. We've got 1 incorrect answer from Joost. We see Joost going through and trying to revise. I'm gonna turn on the clock here.
Start the timer.
Yep, I'm gonna turn on the clock here for Joost.
Holy cow!
Yeah, we are now into our kind of sudden death. Timer is running down here. Joost is gonna be trying to figure out what's going on, what he needs to do.
And much like the last time, I think Mohamed's gonna try to get the right answer, just so that he knows it, because I think that's one of those things that we all run into is like, no, I know I can find this. I know I can get this.
Right, exactly.
But do not post it in the chat.
Yep, exactly, yeah. Don't post it in the chat. We've got now...
keep it to yourself.
3 incorrect answers. So we're gonna see what ends up happening here. I wish I could read the
next level.
Yeah, I wish I could read the errors that are coming up on Juice's screen. It's so interesting to see, you know,
Oh yeah.
It'd be interesting to see what those are telling him. So it looks like he's kind of revised his model, adjusting, kind of making a slightly different approach here to that. It seemed like
that
it
was really cool.
Yeah.
Did you just see that little trick?
Yeah, was that like a removal of the delete face or something? What was that?
I don't know, but man, it was really cool because I looked and I was like, oh, you're gonna have to fix that, and it was like, click, boom, it's gone.
Yeah.
Oh, that was cool.
Wow.
And still 3.5 minutes, so
yep.
You know, it's a good. Make sure you got everything in order.
Yep. Okay, and Joost coming in with an answer. So I am going to be rounding this, so 50.41 grams, and the correct answer is 50.43 plus or minus 2 grams, which means he is just barely within tolerance, and that is correct, and that is going to give him the first win. So wow. The correct answer on that one, 50.43 plus or minus 0.1. We do round up. We have been rounding up to the specified precision.
And Mohamed had it.
From the start of the thing. Yep, Mohamed's there, 50.43. That's exactly correct. Mohamed, nice job. I think you had it correct the first time, man. I think it was just that precision that got you. So nice job. Yeah, it's all good. Shake it off, man. You had it. Oh, man. What a matchup. Wow. Guys, let's put a GG in the chat for these guys. The juice is loose. Indeed.
Both of them. That was awesome. And,
man.
You know, Mohamed had it just right there.
Right there, yeah. Both of them right there. My goodness. GG.
Yeah, like after they were like almost done with it, I thought, oh, what if you just did it as a combine and you just did the 2 different parts and just brought them together? I'm like, geez.
Oh, yeah.
But I didn't even think about that until like way later.
Yeah.
Because I do like using combine. I just don't use it that often.
Yeah. So close, man. Wow. Really good to both of our runners. GG to both of our runners. Nicely done to both of our runners. We're going to learn a little bit more about these runners, but before we do, let's turn to the Wheel of Fate. Oh, whoops, hold on. I got to change something on the wheel. I forgot to. You got to give a proper shout out to the crew at SolidBox sponsoring the wheel here. So this is going to be this, one of these, and one of these. I know you guys don't see what I'm doing, but just trust me, it's really cool.
It's going to be awesome.
It's going to be so awesome. All right. Oh, wait, actually, I want this to be. Okay, there we go. All right, let's bring up the wheel. And let's give a shout out to our friends over at SolidBox who are sponsoring the blue bracket. Thank you, thank you, thank you. That was an evil part. I agree. That was pretty tricky, pretty tricky. Immediately reminded of the one where, yeah, you needed to use that. All right, guys, let's place our bets. Let's see what we think it's going to be. I'm going to just shuffle this, randomize this a little bit more, shuffle it up a little bit here. I'm going to stop right there. The pointer you can see is starting out on, you know what? I'll shuffle it a couple more times. Here we go. I'll stop right there, and let's let it rip. Here we go. Oh, it's like I knew. I was drawn to that one. All righty.
Oh, we did have some Jed.
We got Jed going with
Jed
47.
and Sahil. Sahil's gotten 2.
Sahil is just on it today. Sahil, you got to go to casino tonight.
Yeah.
Tonight is your night.
I'm going to play roulette with him and just put my chips on whatever number he throws down.
Very nice, very nice. All right, well, let's learn a little bit more about our runners while we get this next match all set up. Joost, beyond being an electrical engineering as a hobby, wants to CAD way too fast. I like that. And Mohamed's been teaching CAD since 2009, and it shows. You are absolute killer in this tournament and likes to listen to classical music. That's good. Or classic music. Classic or classical? What do you think?
I would go classic.
Classic music. That's good. I like listening to classic and classical, you know, classic rock. What do you think, Todd? What would you advise? If you had one piece of advice to give to these guys, what would it be?
I think after that one, the big one is just to make sure that you have the units correct as far as the decimal places, because that could have gone for Mohamed. I have a feeling he had the answer.
I think so too.
And I just think that since he didn't have his units set right, that threw it.
Yeah, I think it was very close. I wasn't watching him close enough to see if there was anything really off with the model, but I think that he
didn't look like it.
Yeah, that 50 could have been 50.43.
Yeah, because they would have just dropped those off and truncated.
Yeah.
So
the wheel is very cruel sometimes. Sometimes you get parts in millimeters that are the full unit. Sometimes they're in precision, and that's all up to the wheel. All right, guys. Well, speaking of the wheel, we know what the next model is going to be. Let's get into it, guys. My advice to our runners would be just shake it off, clean off any sweat that's on your hands, take a deep breath, put on some calming music, because we are about to go into this next CAD battle. So, our next CAD battle between ANSYS Space Clean and CATIA V5, Joost versus Mohamed, begins in 3, 2, 1, go! What is the mass of this part in XXX grams? What is the mass of this part in XXX grams? Tolerance is plus or minus 2 grams. You can see this part is called mount plate. What do you think of this one, Todd?
Check out the fuchsia.
Yeah, look out for that magenta. Look out for that fuchsia. Purple faces are radius 13 cylindrical faces, not conical. Cylindrical, normal, constant radius fillets. Good luck to our runners. They are both jumping into this. let's flip over and see how we do in this CAD versus CAD battle. Ex Machina.
I see some interesting stuff in that.
Yeah, Ex Machina is a cool model. Much easier. Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah. No, there's a lot of obstacles, let's call them.
Yeah. So very interesting here. We see it looks like Mohamed starting very much the way that I would start it, creating that circle, extruding it up. We see Joost over on the left, kind of taking his time, maybe planning this out a little bit, trying to figure out how to sketch this thing. I've noticed in Joost's work, he does a lot of layout sketches.
Yep. I work the same way. I like to use the layout, but yeah, I don't know. I think I would have started the same as you and Mohamed.
Yeah. I think that plate is pretty nice. Gary Bruce saying nice model. AMO Alex saying good model. Ex Machina, good, cool model. Much easier. Yeah.
Jed calls it though. It's another doozy.
And
I have a feeling we're gonna see that. You know,
we got multiple draft angles on this thing. We got some gotchas on this thing. So
there's a lot of them.
Yeah. So good luck to our runners. I'm sure they'll be fine. No problem figuring this out.
It's definitely one of those. It's like I can't wait to see how this unfolds. And Eric's got it. I'm so in love with this model.
Nice. Thank you.
So many like little gotchas in it, like you said.
Yeah. This is what's up. This is the kind of models that we like to have in this World Championship of 3D CAD speed modeling. Definitely liking what I'm seeing here on the screen with Joost. He really, like I said, he really likes to do kind of a lot of layout work and then somehow turn it into 3D CAD geometry. So see how he handles this one.
Wave the wand at it.
Yeah. One thing I've noticed about CATIA in watching these tournaments and watching the leaderboard challenges is that CATIA, you kind of lay out your geometry and add your dimensions, and then you just kind of go through and populate the values of those dimensions in a secondary screen. And so I think that's pretty interesting too, something to watch for as Mohamed gets into some of these subsequent instances, subsequent features.
Because that's one of my, SolidWorks speed tricks is to have the dimensions as you're sketching so that you can just key it in as you're going.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a different approach.
Yeah, it's very different. It's like you kind of index out all the dimensions and then you just add them all in one screen. I don't know if I noticed it this time around, but I've definitely seen Mohamed do that before.
Well, and it's interesting because like Eric said in the chat earlier, there's a huge difference between CATIA V4 and CATIA V5. And I never got my hands on V5. I was, completely out of it by the time that it was fully released. So
this is your chance to see it.
It's really cool seeing it.
Yeah. Shout out to Sean in the chat saying, hey, Toby, shout out to the old Prism days. Yes, indeed. Those were some real good days. I was just talking to one of my other coworkers the other day, former coworker, Prism coworker, about how we were so thankful that we got to have that experience. It was so cool.
VAR life.
Yeah, VAR life. And, got to work with some really cool people and, meet a lot of cool people along the way. So
that was always the coolest thing is getting to, when you go out on a demo and you get a plant tour and you get to see like what all the different companies make and how they're going to use the tool.
Yeah, sometimes you'll see stuff on the shop floor and you'll be like, oh, I helped with that.
Yep,
I remember troubleshooting that model or whatever. Gonzalo is saying CATIA V5 without a space mouse is painful. Pro tip there.
Oh, yeah.
Gotta get that 3D connection going.
Eric liked the VAR life.
Yep, VAR life. Another t-shirt. We got so many t-shirt ideas today, man. We should just start a t-shirt factory.
That's right.
It's interesting too with Joost. I'm watching Joost and he's on the left using Antis space claim, and it's like it looks like he's really struggling with this model, and then you look over again and it's like, oh no, he's not struggling at all.
No, he's doing just fine.
It's all good. Like it looked at first like he was really struggling with how to get that draft on that end face, and then I look over again and he's like, no, I'm good. I got it.
Yeah, it's like no
problem.
Just got to tweak the wand a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, this model, for those of you who are watching from home, this model does have a lot of different draft on it, different draft from different angles, different draft from, along those two kind of horizontal that X shape. There's some different draft both on the end and also on the side walls. So that's certainly what is going to be challenging for these runners. It's also partially an anti-Ivan exploit technique. You know, I don't want the runners to be able to just drop those holes anywhere. They have to drop them at a specific location, and that's because otherwise the draft will cause the mass of the model to be incorrect. So it is a little bit of an anti-Ivan exploit technique that you'll see me use. But it's also just kind of the function of this part, right? This part is a mount of some sort, a mount plate, and you know, it needs to have that draft on it so the other part fits in.
Josh said to go with the classic SWG Life shirt. Cam made those like several years ago, and that was when I first met him at World. He brought a SWG Life shirt. He's like, yeah, I was trying to find you, and he like gave it to me. I'm like, oh, holy crap. And then the next year we sold those to raise money for Danielle Boyer for Every Kid Gets a Robot.
Yeah, that's cool. Hagar.
SWG Life.
Just a reminder to the chat, please do not answer if you're watching from home. It's all good, but please don't put an answer in the chat. We're going to let these guys shine today. We don't want anybody answering and then giving anybody a leg up. We want to make sure that these guys have a chance to get through these models. So best thing you can do if you get it, if you're, you know, you get it before them, you just put that in the chat. You just in the chat say, I got it. I got it. Yep, already done. These guys are slow. Something like that.
That was our thing at the VAR. If you were working support and an email came in, you had to like send an email to everybody. Got it.
Yeah,
knew
exactly.
That you took that job.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, I miss those days, man. Maybe we'll get back into that field sometime. It's a good gig for sure. If you like troubleshooting, that is a good gig.
Yep.
Wow, Mohamed's model has really come together, really looking good. Joost on the left seems like he's kind of struggling with this one. Mohamed is really getting in there, kind of, I think, giving it the final spin, looking over, making sure that he's got all his dimensions correct, making sure that he doesn't, isn't missing anything, making sure that the model in the print looks like the model that he's working on, and he's really getting it. I like it.
I have a feeling we're going to have an explosion of activity on Joost's screen here in just a second.
Yeah.
I think he's setting up.
Yeah.
And it's going to be one of those, like,
bang,
okay,
bang, bang,
everything's in order.
Yeah.
Boom.
Yeah.
And, you know, Mohamed's just going to make sure that he's got everything right. Significant digits, you know, everything.
Yeah, the geometry in the model looks like the geometry on the print. He's gonna make sure that he's got, you know, that like you said, that everything is looking pretty good. He's got looks like he's struggling a little bit with the slot feature there, trying to figure out how to handle that. The dimensions on the print look like they're a little different from just the way that they're located. I mean, look like they're a little different from how he's got it laid out there, and that's fine. You know, you don't have to follow the exact dimensioning scheme or design intent. You could come up with a different way of doing it, but that means you're gonna have to do some of that math in your head, or, you know, come up with a different way of solving it.
Well, and the draft is going to be important on that because that will affect it.
Right. All right, Mike Van Ruin. Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say, got a shout out from South Africa from Mike.
South Africa is
about
here.
To say that.
I think Bucks is here from South Africa too. So shout out to you guys. Welcome. Thanks for joining us. Oh, I like this this approach by Joost here. He's got all these contours.
Yeah,
like,
I think he's in good shape.
Yeah.
I think that, you know, it's like I said, it's gonna just happen.
Yep. He's gonna blast through. Okay.
It's gonna get dramatic here really quick.
Get real dramatic here. Mohamed is looking at this kind of sketch. It's really hanging him up here. Joost spent a lot of time getting that L shape correct for just one instance, and now he looks like he's taking advantage of mirror and pattern to get those other instances of that L shape. So let's see how these guys come across the finish line here. This is really, really interesting.
And that's one of those, I'm gonna say I called it, because I was watching him and he was just getting everything dialed in and set up.
Yep.
And I knew that it was just going to be like a sudden burst of activity.
Yeah.
And
All right,
we
Joost,
see a number.
Joost coming in with an answer, 668.9 or 669. That is not correct. That is not correct. So Joost is going to have to double check his model, possibly opening the door for Mohamed to come through here. The round of 16 is presenting some challenging models for these people. This is...
I don't think I've ever seen that many incorrect answers.
Yeah, I know. I knew the round of 16 was going to be bringing it. I hope I didn't go too hard. Maybe I'll dial it back a little as we continue through. Mohamed coming in with an answer, 688 grams. That is not correct. That is not correct. So 2 incorrect answers, 668 or 669, we're rounding. 669, not correct.
Nope, Joost came in with another answer.
Okay, Joost revising to 663 grams. That is not correct. We are factoring in our plus or minus 2 gram tolerance here. That is not correct. 663 grams is not correct. We are factoring in our plus minus 2 grams tolerance here. And that means that we are bringing the clock back. Let's go.
For Mohamed this time.
And the clock is going to Mohamed this time. What a series of matches today. My goodness.
Just nuts.
Yeah. These guys are getting tripped up by some of these models. And that's okay. You know, this is all part of the tournament. So Mohamed is going to have 4 minutes and 40 seconds remaining. And he's going to try to figure out what's going on with this model. What did I miss? You know, did I miss anything? Did I, you know, I must miss something, right? He's going to be...
There's a lot of time on the clock for him. You know, he's got 4.5 minutes. He should be able to just kind of piece through and just be triple sure.
Yep. Okay, and Mohamed
he came in with an answer.
Firing in 712 grams. That is incorrect. That is not correct. Wow. So we are going on. Joost putting another answer in the chat there, 657. Also not correct. Although, interestingly, you're so close, Joost. The correct answer for this one is anybody in the... I'm going to let people in the chat answer. You guys in the chat, let me know.
Yeah, Tafun came in.
Tafun coming in. No, not correct. Also not correct. If anybody did it in the chat, let me know if you think you got it correct. Put it in the chat.
Because I think I see what's up on Joost's.
Sahil coming in 664, not correct. Guys are all very close. Everyone is very, very close on this thing.
And since we're done, on Joost, the top of the draft, on the sides with the hole, it looks too small to me.
Sahil says between 1 and 1,000. Yep, that is correct. It is between 1 and 1,000. No, the correct answer, and this is going to be a real bummer for Joost, 660 plus or minus 2. So his 663 was just off by, it was just slightly out of spec. 660 grams is the correct answer. 660. I'll put it in the chat here in case anybody wants to try it. Make sure that you're getting it correct as well. I always get nervous when no one gets it, but 660 plus or minus 2 grams is the correct answer on that one. So we're going to a third match between these guys. I could watch these guys model all day, so I don't mind. This is cool. Let's give a GG to both of our runners.
Yeah, big time.
Wow, GG to both of our runners for that one. That one was pretty intense. Let's bring the Wheel of Fate up. You guys shake it off a little bit. It's all good. We're going to keep going here. So close on that one. My goodness, my goodness. Yep, he says, yep, got that angle wrong. Had to be 15 degrees. I had it at 10. There you go. All right, the wheel is back. We got another nail biter for the wheel here. I'm not going to shuffle it this time. I'm going to leave it how it is. So you guys, what you see is what you get there for the wheel. And we're going to spin this thing. Sahil says, Toby won that challenge. We all win. We get to see competitors like this. Here we go. Let's spin this wheel, baby. See what we get. 37, 43, 32, 46, 37, 46, 44. What is the answer? 43.
Oh, is he going to make it? Eric got it finally.
Eric gets it. Well done, Eric. Well done.
Thank you, Richard Petty.
Yeah. Wow, wow, wow. All right. And let's see here. This is gonna be this one. And Todd, I'm gonna just ask you to talk to the crowd for a minute. I'm gonna go real quick. So, I'll be right back.
I always like to watch the numbers that people pick for the wheel, because some will pick a number and they'll stick with the same one for the whole time. And I know Eric's number is going to be 43 because that's Richard Petty. But I'm kind of interested. Go ahead and throw in the chat, like, if you picked a certain number and you've stuck with it, why did you pick that number? Oh, good point. Matches the Superbird. Big fan. Racing numbers 42. Yes, I did see the comment about 37 being prime before, picking prime numbers. Yeah, Toby ran away. It's just us now, so everybody hide. Either that or we'll like drive up the likes really high or something like that. Because if you haven't hit like yet, we've got 61 in now. We've only got 48 likes.
Yeah, let's get that.
And he's back.
Let's get that like to watch ratio matchup. Thank you. Yeah, great job. All right, cool. So we got 43 now. I'm very excited to see this one. This is gonna be an interesting one for sure. So what do we think? We got it. I know you were talking to the crowd there for a little bit. You got any more final advice for these guys?
I'm just anxious because, you know, every single one has been just neck and neck, nail biter, photo finish. And the number of missed answers is completely foreign to me.
Yeah. So,
I mean, it's like, okay, this they have another chance. And then they would miss it, and then this guy's got another chance. And then it's been very dramatic.
Yes, indeed. Yeah, it's been a complete nail biter all throughout the entire session today. It's been really good matches. I've been really enjoying this kind of neck and neck competition, and I think that the only advice I would give to the runners is just, like I said, shake it off, take your time. You know, try to imagine what the model looks like. Remember that the Wheel of Fate can be very cruel from time to time. Not much else you can say about it, right?
Yep. It's just a couple of comments about, you know, if you're just winging it, I'm going to change professions. It's like, to be that good and be winging it, that's scary.
Yeah. Yes, indeed. All right, here we go, guys. This is our third matchup here. Our second matchup was a push, and so it's up to Mohamed here to secure the point. If Joost can secure this point, he will be moving on to the round of 8. Let's see how it goes. I'm going to flip over to full screen here, and we are going to begin this next CAD battle between ANSYS Space Claim and CATIA V5 in 3, 2, 1, go. What is the mass of this part in XXX grams? The tolerance for this challenge is plus or minus 1 gram. What is the mass of this part? Easy, right? Super easy part. No problems. Maybe not. Take a screen capture, give it a try, see what you guys think. All right, we're going to flip over to this CAD versus CAD battle. Both of our runners are creating their first entities. How will they create this part?
That's always the really interesting part for me is it's like, okay, how are you going to start this? What's your approach going to be?
Yes, indeed, yeah. A model like this, you know, sometimes what happens is, I'll just say it this way. Sometimes what happens is the person who created the print or the person who gives you the print or the napkin sketch or the design requirements, whatever it is, they've got something in there that makes it really difficult for you as a CAD engineer. You're kind of like, why did they dimension it like that? Why did they give us that dimension? That doesn't make things easy. How am I supposed to get that? That's really what the spirit of this part of the challenge is. So we're going to see what happens. Oh, the timer's still up. Thank you. Don't need that timer. Thank you, Ex Machina.
Yeah, that was always one of the fun parts, like teaching essentials. It's like, okay, what's going to be the best starting profile? And, you know, one of the big things that I always pushed was a lot of times it depends on how the part will be made. Because I had and I don't think I have it here with me, but I had a part that I used to show, and it's like, okay, how would you make this? And then let them know, it's like, okay, this was made on a tubing laser, so this would be your best profile. You know, but just knowing, you know, the capabilities of your equipment is going to determine a lot of this as well.
Yes. Yeah, that's a great point, and that's something that can definitely help in the design process, is, you know, knowing what type of tooling is going to be available and using that to help you make the best decisions. Completely agree. A question came in here from Loon, says, is it allowed to recreate the model and drawing in CAD for checks? Absolutely, yeah. If you want to spin up a 2D print and use that to do your checking, that's absolutely allowed. It's just whoever gets the answer into the YouTube chat first and gets it correct wins the point.
Yeah, and even though you can create drawings fast, I just think that might add a little too much time.
Yeah, that's it may,
just
may
how
indeed.
fast these are going.
Yeah. And we see Joost here using again, like kind of almost like it's like,
oh, that is really cool.
Yeah, he was able to rip through there and create.
Oh man. Okay, that was neat.
Yeah. The Wheel of Fate is sometimes the Wheel of Fate can be brutal, and sometimes the Wheel of Fate can give you the perfect model for your design style. I'll let you guys in the crowd decide which one is which.
Holy cow.
Yeah. That was
really cool.
Yeah, that's a model where, depending on how you get started with that first sketch, that model could take you a very long time, or it might be something where you're able just to cruise right through it. And, yep, here is Juice. That's what AMO Alex says. Yes, indeed.
Oh, my God. If that's winging it, geez, there's going to be a lot of waiters out there.
Yeah, yes, indeed.
And he's coming in with a weight.
Okay, and Juiced coming in with an answer. 920.101 grams. And that is correct.
Wow.
So, wow. Congratulations to Juiced. Good game to Juiced and to Mohamed. That was one where I think Juiced got the absolute perfect model for his style of design. That's one where, because of how those dimensions are, because of how that rib is coming down from the top, if you don't have a good strategy for your initial sketch, for your initial layout, that one's going to take you a very long time to figure out. Juice was able to just smash right through that one. Congratulations. What a run. What a series of matches between these guys, too. So awesome. So exciting all throughout. Wow. Great.
I'm going to have to rewatch that one later, because that whole last bit, you know, it was just awesome.
Yeah. Really impressive from all of our runners today. GG to the winner of that match, to Juiced. GG to Mohamed as well. Very nicely done. Great showing from Mohamed there today.
He absolutely rocked it.
Yeah, he was so close on all of those matches. So GG to everyone for running today. Really to all four of our runners today. Thank you so much to Fabian, to the GoldenSpamfish, to Juiced, and to Mohamed for being our runners today. Awesome job. Great run from everyone. Don't forget to support the channel. Be sure to like and subscribe. Take a screen capture of what we're doing and send it out. Or when you see me post stuff on social media, or you see Todd post stuff on social media, take it, send it out to the rest of the world. Don't forget to sign up for a free account over at tootalltoby.com. If you want to support before you leave here, you can use your credit card. You can send over some super chat. A great way to support the channel is with super chat. Or if you're watching the recording, you can use what's called super thanks. Another great way to support the channel. Always very much appreciated. Check out the calendar. Next week, the Sweet 16 continues on the 23rd. We got some really cool matchups coming on the 23rd. It looks like we're going to see on the 23rd, Aaron C. going up against Jed Hightower. Jed is in the chat, rocking it out in the chat. We're going to see some SolidWorks versus SolidWorks action. United States versus United States. And then we're going to move over to the red bracket, and we're going to see some On-Shape versus SolidWorks action. Imants going up against JMD. I think JMD is the number 3 seed in the entire tournament, so that's going to be pretty exciting to see how he does, how Imants does. If Imants can move through this challenger, he's gonna have a pretty clear path to the finals. So we're gonna see if Imants can do it, and that's going to be next week. A really exciting matchup there, and thank you so much to you, Todd. I know you announced a lot of events today, so I will put those events down in the description of the video once the live stream is done, so you guys can be sure to check out all of Todd's upcoming events, the various meetings he's doing. Hanging out with Tyndall, I guess next week you're going to be hanging out with Tyndall. Great guy, great SolidWorks enthusiast, huge member of the SolidWorks community. So,
Totally.
Yep, very cool, very, very cool. Todd, any final thoughts for the audience?
Oh, man. That was just awesome. I mean, I don't know about anybody else, but I'm going to have to rewatch some of these because I was trying to watch them both, but now I want to watch each individual one.
Yeah.
Because there was just a lot of cool stuff going on, and wow. I mean, it's just getting more intense, and like when we hit round 8, it's going to be nuts.
Yeah, yeah.
Because, you know, the models are getting more difficult. There was a lot of nice little twists in that last one.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
completely
it's
agree.
Bonkers.
Sorry, I lost you on the overlay for a second. My bad.
There I am.
Yeah, there he is. He's back, guys. Yeah, I completely agree. I mean, these were some great matches today. It's great to be here in the round of 16. The models are getting tougher. The competitors are getting tougher. I think you might have said it, or somebody said it in the chat, that the models are now coming up to the level of the competitors. And so it's so great to give these guys a chance to shine and to give these guys a chance to really show what they're capable of. Yeah, so awesome. Very excited to see what happens next. And if you guys want to see me solving some of these models, I'm going to do this on Monday. We are going to do a late start on Monday, so Model Monday Live is going to be at 1 p.m. instead of 11 a.m. That's East Coast, Monday, September 18th. I'm going to go through and solve these models using On-Shape. So if you want to see a little tutorial on how to solve these models using On-Shape, I'll go through and do as many as I can from the tournament. These guys are a lot faster than me, so I don't know if I'm going to be able to do all of them, but I'll do some of these ones from the tournament. That way you guys can kind of see a live tutorial on how to solve these. And then, of course, please come back next week. The Sweet 16 continues Saturday, September 23rd. Looking forward to seeing everybody there. Todd, any final thoughts before we sign off?
Not that I can think of. Just keep it up, and check out the other modeling ones where you record. At the Tutorial Toby, where you record modeling 3 things, because that's a really good way to get into it as well.
Yeah, that's great advice. The leaderboard is up right now for September, so feel free to give it a run. We got a lot of good runs in there. You can watch somebody else's. I want to say thank you so much to you, Todd. It was amazing having you as co-commentary. This was a lot of fun today, a lot of good matches, so thank you so much for being the co-commentator.
So much fun anytime.
And thank you to everybody in the chat. You guys are indeed the best chat ever, and I look forward to seeing everybody next week, Saturday, September 23rd. I will see everybody there. Bye, everybody.